What is up? Welcome back to another video. It is Monday, first Monday of the new year, 2025. It is January 6th. Nothing at all significant about that, but there is quite a bit of film photography news to go over. Got a little list here, so we'll talk about that. Before we do that, I want to give a quick shout out to the members of the channel, the Bronco Buddies, whose lovely names are behind me, around me, everywhere. They're fantastic. They support the work that I do here. And in exchange, they get exclusive content, early access to other videos, and the special shout out here once a week. Now, as the new year has begun, I've got a few other perks that I've announced to them. So if you want to access those, feel free to join the channel. Definitely appreciate that support. If you can't do so, that's also okay. Just like the video if you enjoyed, subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on future news content and other videos that I'm putting together. Appreciate the support all the same. So we have a few things to talk about today, a few kind of minor stories. There's a couple bigger stories, and we'll just go from there. To start off, I think one of my predictions for 2025 was that the Lucky color film wasn't really going to pan out. I have it from some authority that might not come true. Reflex Labs posted an article on their site about some correspondence they had with Lucky Film. As you know, Reflex Labs, Lucky Film are two Chinese-based companies, and I'd reached out to Reflex Labs previously because they sell a lot of Lucky Film's products, so they have some connection there. They actually went to the Lucky Film site, talked to the people there, and the new updated timeline is Q2 of 2025 for the Lucky color film emulsion release. And they gave reasons as to why this was, which I thought was very important. Because color film is very difficult and challenging to make, the ingredients needed are hard to source. They've reverse engineered the emulsion to some degree, and from what it says on the site, they're pretty much just about there in terms of getting all the ingredients, getting all of the things needed squared away. It makes sense that they would have to move out that timeline, and honestly I think that that's a much more realistic timeline than end of the year, which when that was stated, end of the year 2024, I think it was like March or something, which gives them about 9 months. And that could be done, but it's just very challenging, I think, and it would be very financially challenging as well. So I think Q2 2025 is a great time. There's not really a whole lot of other products that we know of just yet kind of releasing in that time period, so that will give it plenty of exposure and plenty of space to be a very successful product. And on top of that, they are also quoting it as, again, being the most affordable color film on the market, with hopes to really disrupt the current film photography market, fill in the gaps that are out there, because there's not a lot of color film producers out there, thus there's not a whole lot of color film. And I think in certain markets like America, there's a lot of product because we've got Kodak and a lot of people will import to us. But I think other markets, especially like the Chinese market, Southeast Asian market, the Australian market, New Zealand, the whole oceanic region, parts of Europe, I think a lot of those areas suffer from not a whole lot of color film especially. So seeing another company pop up and have lower film costs, that could really benefit a lot of people out there and would hopefully resuscitate some more of the market. So that's cool. I'd stated initially that I don't think it's gonna happen, and I'm more than happy to eat my words on that. So this is good news as far as I'm concerned. The next thing that I want to talk about is the Analogue AF1. Now, I discussed this kind of recently. It's the new point-and-shoot camera from Analogue Amsterdam. Outsider looking in, it looks to be like a pretty solid camera. In terms of this new wave of film cameras, I think it's going to be pretty good. I did have a few questions, and I reached out to them to kind of follow up on those. I've not heard back, but they did reply in another article an answer to one of my questions, which was they have a series of photos on their website. Which, by the way, I've gone through their website a few times now, and they have probably one of my least favorite websites for this product. It is incredibly laggy. It takes so long to get everything rendered properly, and it's just really challenging to get proper information from. So that's like my biggest critique right now is the website. And if you're trying to pull it up on your phone, may God have mercy on your soul. It is a horrible experience. Like, it's a computer-only website, and even then, it's not my favorite thing. But regardless, they have photos on the website, not of the camera. My question was, were these taken with the camera? Because it's stated in the way that's like, look at how sharp these images are. The presumption of that being, hey, we've used the optics for this camera, these are the images it produces. However, they did come out in an article and say that those were not photos from the camera. And clarification, it wasn't even an article that they were commenting on, it was a comment to an article. So it wasn't like they were asked the question and they answered it. The photos on the site are not from the camera. That doesn't really matter too much, but that was just a question that I had that, you know, maybe you had. A month or so away from like having models in which they can use, so they'll probably replace the photos on the site with images they've taken with the camera when they have a camera to take those images with. Is it kind of misleading? I guess, kind of. Does it really matter? No, probably not. It was just something that kind of jumped out to me as important. We now have another bit of news. As it is 2025, that means it is the 100-year anniversary of the Leica M1. No, the Leica 1, I guess. Yeah, the Leica 1, 100 years old. First released in 1925, obviously, I think in like June or something. It was for like the spring fair, something like that. I'm not super up to snuff on my Leica history there, but Leica is celebrating their history because 100 years of producing high quality camera systems is pretty impressive. So they're going to have a series of events around the world. There are different Leica stores. I think there was going to be one in Dubai, New York. I don't remember the rest of the place off the top of my head. Hong Kong, maybe. There is going to be a big one in Germany in June to kind of commemorate the Spring Festival. So that's going to be kind of cool. I'll put the link for that article down below. If you are a Leica person, you probably know a lot more about this than I do. I'm not a Leica person, so I'm a little bit out of touch, but it is something that's kind of interesting. And again, 100 years for a camera company to be around and consistently producing high quality stuff with very few exceptions to like lower quality things, it's pretty awesome. So props to them. This other bit of news is very unimportant, insignificant. I just thought it was kind of interesting. I was at the gym yesterday and they were playing some of the football games that were going on, NFL football games. You may know what those are, but there was a commercial for their like merch shop. And in the commercial, a bunch of people lined up and someone's taking a picture of these people with an Mamiya RB67. And I thought that's kind of cool because when you think about like the pantheon of like film cameras, it's not up there as much as I think, you know, just a generic SLR would be, but it does have like a very interesting presence to it. I think they're great cameras, don't get me wrong, but like the average person isn't going to know what an RB67 is or looks like. But it's just very interesting to see, like, just at the gym and NFL commercial, Mamiya RB67, those are just things that I didn't think were going to ever happen in the same kind of universe there. So I don't really know what that says. I think that it just kind of goes to show the continued prevalence that film photography has and the social zeitgeist that we have going on here. I think it's kind of cool. If I can find the commercial, I'll like put a little clip of it here. It's very, very minor and insignificant. Again, just thought it was kind of cool. This next news update is a bummer. I did the piece last week kind of speculating as to Ferrania's future, and I was kind of lukewarm about it, and I'm even more so now. I guess that was 2 weeks ago. It doesn't matter. Very bad news. The only thing that's left in stock on the Ferrania shop, which is the only place you can buy Ferrania film at the moment because it looks like it's out of stock everywhere else. The only thing that's left is the Ferrania P30, and it is listed as the last production. And I thought that's really sad. Like, I wanted to buy some because I bought some of their first film stock, and I was thinking it'd be nice to kind of bookend this very short burst of film with the first and the last. But you can't buy it and get it shipped to anywhere unless you live in Italy. So I can't buy it, get it shipped to America because they're not shipping to America. Like, it only can be shipped within Italy. So if there's anyone out there who's Italian, hit me up, please. I don't know, can read the runes here, just see. Yeah, I think they're done. I think that they're done because, you know, one of my favorite film companies, as you may know, and to just kind of see them kind of taper off into this forgotten whimper, so to speak, is really tough, I think. Not in like a woe is me kind of way, but just like, I guess it is what it is, but it is kind of a bummer. So yeah, that's kind of the sad news. Quick little intermission here to the news. So I was putting together the links for the videos. Again, all of the links for the stuff I was talking about is down below. I have two updates to make. One, I cannot for the life of me find that NFL commercial. Commercials are very difficult to find, which is hilarious. They're always there when you don't want them, but they're never there when you're looking for them, is what it is. The second thing, I was trying to find the Ferrania P30 last in production to like take a screenshot of that, put it in there, talk about it a little bit more. Unfortunately, it looks like the entirety of the Film Ferrania website no longer exists. I don't read Italian, so I don't know what the words mean, but it's not looking good. And again, just reading the runes, you know, it's not happening. So it is what it is. I think there's still a few places online you can get P30 from. So if you are in the market, I would suggest get some of that now. P33 looks to be out of stock just about everywhere. Orto, you might be able to find some, and I don't know about P30 in 120. But if you can find it, more power to you. If not, I think that ship might have sailed, unfortunately. Potentially new color film coming out, cool. No more Ferrania, sad. So that's that, I guess. In other news, I just received the Keks KF01 Flash in the mail the other day, so I'll be doing a review piece for that. Probably try to shoot it this week and then get the film out, try to get it video taking care of that for next week. We'll see how that shakes out. But the Flash, I have it, and I have to say it is phenomenal thus far. Like just the construction, the build quality, and the overall design of it, I really do enjoy. It has a very retro futuristic look to it, which I think is nice, and I'm very excited about that. Double check. I think that's it for the news. I have some other little topics I'll probably try to sprinkle in next week depending on how much news is out there, but fortunately we had quite a bit to talk about today, which is great. Start off the new year strong with some like positive news, a little bit of negative news, but hey, something to talk about nonetheless. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Remember to like it if you did, subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on next week's video, because this is going to be a weekly installment. Got other videos coming out this week, so stay tuned for that. Thank you very much for watching. Appreciate it as always, and I will catch you on the next one.